Okay, welcome back. Chatting with Mike Igini this morning, former Resident Electoral Commissioner of INEC, and looking at to conduct the election successfully in 2023 is a task that must be done.
Absolutely.
Now let's talk about this. It bears repetition. BVAS, acronym for Bimodal Voter Accreditation System. Just run over it briefly, Mike.
Very quickly. This is what really have empowered Nigerian people that have ended rigging under Section 49 of the previous acts. Now, bimodal voter accreditation system simply means that when you appear by virtue of Section 47 that empowers it before a presiding officer, I am a presiding officer, I will have to verify your PVC, confirm, and authenticate your biometrics. But in the unlikely event that I'm not able to confirm your biometric, in the unlikely, take note of the choice of my words.
Yes.
Now, unlike the car reader, where we now go for your facial accreditation, what about your face? You know, people were hiding under the fact, oh, because my fingers could not be confirmed, therefore, let's go for incident form. INEC has ended the business of incident form that have been used to rig elections.
So that's where bimodal.
That's why that is a dual mode. More than one mode. Not even more than one mode. To even add to it. Beyond your face and your biometrics, which is, there's no way, what about your iris, which is your facial, you cannot escape this anymore. But in any case, there are 3 other additional methods. One, and that is that every voter, you have what they call a VIN number.
Yeah.
Voter identification number. The last 6 digits, once it's entered into the BVAS, it will bring your picture, everything out.
So
number 3, in addition, the second one, is that your surname. They can use your surname. They can use what they call the barcode, all right, on the PVC. And finally, the QR on the hard copy.
What is QR?
Of the register. The quick response.
Oh, okay, quick response.
So you put it there, and so these 5 methods, if you cannot be identified, then of course you are not.
Tony in Abuja, thank you for holding on. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Okay, please go ahead, Tony.
Mr. Igini, good morning. I'm very curious about this thing because discussing this cleanup exercise that INEC has been carrying on, I know that they've cleaned up those fake passport photographs, the males that are females and all that. But since those were able to enter the system, I'm worried that people that have carried on with multiple registrations with their fingerprints and everything may be able to slip through this cleanup exercise. So what is INEC's plan to ensure that even people that have registered multiple times with fingerprints and all those things are able to, won't be able to cast a vote on that day?
Yes, very quickly. Okay. INEC has migrated from the AFIS, Automatic Finger Identification System, to ABIS, Automatic Biometric Identification System, which is the more advanced form. All right? I can assure you that the system before I left that is in place, what you have just seen is preliminary. When INEC shall have completed the process and have moved to the level of what you call the post-business rule, which is the advanced stage, all of those things will be cleared off. And that is why, from the report, that, for example, when we released the first quarter before I left office, you registered about 2.something million, almost 1 million, weeded out. From Abia State to the last state of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which is Zamfara, on the basis of alphabetical order. All right? Oh, I will show you something quickly here to show to you that each state of the Federation, with the current ABIS, automatic biometric system that we are using right now, automatic biometric identification system that you have ABIS right now, it will deal with all of that. So there's no problem with that. The only
because
the
if
only
it's central, if
yes,
it's central and it's
of course.
computerized,
oh yeah,
then as
it will be done.
Tony was
So
saying,
if you
registered yourself in multiple
register
places.
7 places, another once they put over, it will bring every of the places register showing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay.
It will just show. It will be. It will show clearly. They will give you only one. Eliminate all others.
Oh, you still will be allowed to vote, even though you've tried to be fraudulent.
Well, of course, sometimes they said we should go and prosecute them. You remember about 800 during our Jega time and all of that, you know.
Yeah.
And people said,
but
okay,
what
how
you're
do we deal with
saying
that?
is that it will show to the electoral officer that this individual in
No,
front
the
of-
system, the biometric, those who are going to deal with that at the ICT.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
They will see all,
it.
they will see and
That this
eliminate
individual,
all of that.
and they will eliminate.
Yeah. What is interesting here is that the incident of underaged, because Section 12 says 18 years and above, all right? It shows to you how broken our society is, that a parent will carry his children of 9 years old to go and register. I mean, it's a tragedy for our country. It shows that our value pyramid is completely upside down.
Indeed. I know, well, INEC is doing all that it can. But Abdul Salami, okay, this is the support, this is just a
This is
a
what we call
diagram.
the tracking system.
Oh, okay,
This is the tracking system I was talking about.
Before we
For
saw
example,
the pictures.
you know, in Lagos State, you have 20 local government, all right? That is by virtue of the federal, all right? You have 20. Delta, you have 25 local government. Edo State, you have 18 local government. The 18 local government, 25, 31 local government, all of them will be tracked. Everything from movement of the materials, everything will be tracked. There is very little you can do right now. Power has been returned to Nigerian people. It's no longer a case of at the polling unit, something will happen here, at the work collection center. Okay. No. Okay. Elections are now won and lost at the level of
okay, so when we say support
unit.
there, it's just a diagram.
Yes. It is, you see, there's an acronym there. Electoral Operations Support Center.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
Electoral Operations Support Center.
They exist.
EOSC.
Okay. And
you have that at the state level. That's one of the tools that INEC has developed. Then you have what you call the election risk management. That one tracks and monitors every potential threat. Every deviation from unconformity to is also tracked. And the REC will be sitting in his office. The team will be producing from every 30 minutes. They'll be giving all the records.
That's the team we saw with you among them
Absolutely,
earlier. That actually should have followed this particular
This should have been a first, then the other one.
Yes. Okay. Chidi in Kafanchan, good morning to you, sir. I understand you've been holding on for a long while.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Chief Mike Igini, for coming to this very program this morning.
Good morning.
Indeed, all you have been narrating so far has been very, very inciting and educating at the same time. The newly introduced BVAS and every other technique that the INEC has put in place in order to ensure a hitch-free election in Nigeria is well applauded. At this point in time, I want to, while commending the efforts of INEC so far, I want the Nigerian government to put every other thing that is needed to put in place in order to ensure security. It is very, very important and paramount. And the success of the forthcoming 2023 general elections, I want Nigerians to know that it is very, very critical and at the same time key to the sustenance and the survival of Nigeria's democracy. Therefore, whatsoever that Nigerian electorates, the INEC, and indeed every other stakeholder should do to ensure security and success of this election is indeed welcome. Thank you so very much, and may God bless Nigeria.
Indeed. Thank you very much for, calling in. That's Chidi.
Yes, quite frankly, talking about security. Security is very, very key. And I just said before that election is one activity that is all involved, very complex, that nations embark on in peacetime. So we need a very peaceful environment. Now, and that is why, as to issue about threat, a society must have something to build on. The election we witnessed, who would have believed that we were able to conduct election in Anambra State, given the kind of security that was going on? Ekiti, Ondo, and Osho, which is the last. Now, Nigerians can also attest to the level of security pattern that we have seen under the current Inspector General of Police.
Yes,
showing clearly that we can do some of these things, that we can police ourselves.
The police is fully on board.
And they did so well. For you know my position with respect to some of the things I see, I will tell you clearly what it should be. The current leadership of the police have done so well, to the extent that because they realize that every provision of the act has a background, the IGP convened a conference and a retreat for 3 days at Owerri. The President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria was there to declare it open. And I want us, Nigerians, particularly the security agencies, to key into what the President said, that he expects total and absolute security neutrality, and that they must remain apolitical. They must be firm, and they must be committed, I'm quoting the words of the President, to democratic values. That is the legacy he wants to leave behind.
This was at a retreat organized by the police.
By the Inspector General of Police, where all senior police officers from Abia State to Zamfara State, led by the IGP, the DIG, the AIG, all commissioners of police, rank of CP, were all there. And as I speak to you...
As a matter of fact, you delivered a lecture.
Sure. I delivered a lecture there.
At that particular event. Let me bring in Mukhtar in Kano. Good morning to you, sir.
Mr. Yori.
Good morning, Mukhtar.
Good morning, Mr. Yori. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. Please go ahead now.
Yes, this program is very exciting. You are making a very positive contribution to Nigerians. It's a very good and laudable program. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
But my observations are that no matter the act and the laws that are being produced, the most important to Nigerians is good governance. The violence and the other social vices comes in as a result of bad governance. If there is equity and fairness to all Nigerians, the poor people are enjoying the good democratic dividends. I'm telling you, there will be a hate-free elections. But whereby citizens are being denied their rights, especially education, security, peace, and the rest of it, you would expect this kind of situations, the anarchy, the insecurity will definitely come up. But if there should be good governance, I assure you, everything will be free, fair, and equitable. But unfortunately today, most poor Nigerians are suffering, and they are expected to choose their leaders, and their leaders do not care about their welfare. So what do you expect? The laws or the edicts are manual. They guide. It's a guide to the election processes. But the most important thing is the welfare of the people. When the leaders are doing their own thing, neglecting the citizenry, what do you expect? Insecurity. And that will mar or make the elections. So the most important that they should bear in mind in 2023 election is, my goal is good governance. I want to make Nigerians to enjoy the good dividend of democracy. Thank you very much, and God bless Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Mukhtar.
Yes. So that's the point, that no matter what we are going through, I must make this point very clear, that no set of elites will complete the project of any country. In fact, it is work in progress. In fact, Project Nigeria has no hope of final completion by any set of elite. That's why a group will do its own and we go. And that is why periodic election is a period for renewal of the journey of a country. And that is why the security issue, which I want to complete my thought on, is that that conference had been followed up across the country. All the zonal commands of the police, the state commands, they are all having training right now. INEC has been doing training. Politicians, are they doing training? I'm not seeing that happening. Ogun State, for instance, is having training for all security personnel, keen on the concept of what the president has said. And I must say this here. When the commander-in-chief of any country, make a declaration to the security agencies. They should leverage on that, because part of the reason why police have not been able to work better, given that they are the closest to civil authority, is that politicians put pressure on them. They don't want to allow them to do their work. They even threaten security officers that if you do this, we ensure that you are removed. And they have done that. I have served in a state where a commissioner of police told me in December when I was traveling home, and I said, we are going to see in January. He told me that, Commissioner, by January, I'm not going to be in this state. I said, why? They said they are threatening that since it's not working with them, but is maintaining neutrality, they are going to remove him. That, in fact, he should tell me that myself, I will also be removed from this. And I laughed. But what happened, Jerry? I dismissed it. But in January, he sent a message to me. He has been removed and I'll be sent to Kuru for studies. The same politician did so. So I said this. I know of somebody who was at the rank of AIG. When he was a commander, he was threatened by a key politician in this country that he must do this, he must do that. And he said, no, the job of the police is to create a level playing field.
So we still have this kind of a situation with us.
Politicians should allow the security personnel to do their job because, as Mukhtar said, there's anger in the lands. There's hunger in the lands. 2023, we must not fail. And that is why my joy is that even though, as he said, which is correct, good laws, good innovations are not self-implementing. They are not self-executory. But to the extent that it returns power to the people, which is the reason why there's moral panic in the land today. You hear people going to court to want to stop the use of BVAS. We are waiting for that judge, that my colleague in the bench, that will give an order that a BVAS should not be used. We are waiting for that Otto Zeribe or Ambibola Davis of the Association for Better Nigeria, who can go to a court where an Ikpeme could give an order. We are waiting to see that happen in this country. 2023, the Nigerian people have opportunity on account of the power given to them to exercise that their office. And on that day, Yori, their office is the polling units. They don't need to go to any office anywhere. Everybody go to the polling unit to make a choice of who you want to lead you. And that is why campaigns, rallies, engagement is very important in terms of the key issues that matter to the Nigerian people. Issues that will change the material condition of the people. That is what we want to see happen. This election should not be about, I will do this, I will do that. It should be about, how will you do it? How will you do it? With what resources? Given our domestic meltdown, given the global meltdown, how will you do it?
In other words,
that is the conversation.
Being sincere
absolutely.
With your audience.
Yes, of course, on a key issue.
It's one thing to say, I will do this. It's another thing
how
to
do you
say
want to do
how
it?
It will
how
be
do you
done.
want to do it? And I also refer to what happened between Obama and Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney made fantastic promises. But when the American people asked him, all these infrastructure projects you said, where will you get the resources? He said he's going to block some leakages and all that. Okay, if you block leakages, how much will it amount to? He couldn't answer that question. So that 2023, nobody should be taking on any, bus ride to nowhere. Well, it is about how. How can you do it? That is what is required to be done. And so, for me,
fantastic. We're going to have to leave it here.
Yeah, we are leaving this.
Yes,
concluding my thought is that I want to remind Nigerians that the broad outline of the 21st century is clear. It offers opportunity for people who can live together, work together, develop new ties that will bind them together, and be reminded of what Jeff Kennedy said on January 1961 to all Americans and said, does his cabinet, that remember that you hold public office, we are in a journey of your life, it will end one day, that there's going to be sitting a high court of history that will sit in judgment over those of us either at Arise, TVC, Nigerian police, judiciary, citizens. The role you play, you'll be asked in that situation. Were you dedicated? Were you committed? What role did you play to the success or failure.
Thank you
That's
very
what
much,
we are
Mike.
going to be asked.
Mike,
so that will be remembered, and whatever we
and
do,
I can imagine
will
we
be
will
written down in
we will
history.
be saying to
And
ourselves,
so shall
hope
we be
that we're on the right side
remembered
of
in
history. I want to thank you very much, Mike Igini. As usual, this is vintage Mike Igini. Tell it as it is, give us insights into what is going on and also what our own responsibility is. Because you made the point that INEC can do all the work, but it's not self-implementing. Between those whose job it is and the rest of us, to make it work, we have the challenge now. Thank you very much, Mike Igini, for coming on. And then we hope to see you soon. Resident Electoral Commissioner or not, we want your ideas. We want to see those ideas because they're all based on fact out there in the public domain. That's our program today. Please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I am Yori Folari. Bye-bye for now.